Hello and welcome. You're watching Your Trades, and it's our weekend edition where we not only discuss the market this week, but also will be keeping an eye with our experts on the next week triggers. I'm Kavita Thapliyal. With me is my colleague Mansi Dave. And Mansi, what a fantastic week as far as market are concerned. Nifty really closes almost 3-week high advances for the second consecutive week. Definitely on the last session, we saw a lot of defense players leading the market, but having said that, 25,100, a very crucial mark where we are ending the week.
Absolutely, Kavita, and we categorically did say even before time that 25,000, look at those levels, and if we keep those levels intact, then positive upside from 25,000 to 25,100, 200 and 250 will be opening up. And as we did see for 2 sessions, while we kept on those levels on hold, 25,000, and the last closing was ahead of that, 25,114 to be precise. Nifty did close near 3 weeks high. And talking about the entire week and the performance of the market during the week, Nifty mid-cap and small-cap did advance for the second consecutive session, second consecutive week, in fact, as we can say. All the benchmarks as well as the broader markets were positive in trade. All the major sectoral indices were trading in green. Nifty IT was the top sectoral gainer for this week, snapping 2 weeks losing streak, mainly led by OFSs, Coforge, the mid-cap IT plays and the larger plays. And all in all, as we did see, the IT, the consumption, the automobile, Kavita, also did real good runs during the entire week.
All right, so it's time to discuss the entire next week's strategies. We have big triggers. We have definitely the Fed meet and the rate cut announcement. That is what at least in the US are anticipating. And along with that, we have a lot of domestic triggers. But then let's welcome our guest on board. I have Ajay Bagga, market expert, and I also have with me Rajesh Palvia, head technical derivative research at Axis Securities. Hi, evening, and welcome to the show. Ajay, fantastic week. What would you like to say? I mean, if we have to sum up the entire week today and the market strength that was displayed, we ended with all major sectoral indices also ending in green. Your sum up and the crux of the entire week's movement.
Yeah, some amount of hope coming back into the markets. 3 big triggers that we are looking forward to. One, the limited handshake between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump, the exchange of pleasantries, is pointing towards a hope for some amount of tariff concessions down the line. I think that's the biggest trigger. Second is the GST cut. So we saw all the consumption segments and the banks doing well. Third is the earnings bottoming out. So we have seen downgrades to earnings bottoming out in the June quarter, and we are expecting that from here on, from the September quarter earnings season onwards, we will see better earnings. So these are the 3 big drivers for the Indian markets. Add to that very loose financial conditions globally, nearly $184 trillion of financial liquidity available globally, which is at an all-time high. That is helping risk assets across the board, from gold to crypto to bond yields to stocks. The second big global factor will be the Fed cutting rates. So when the Fed cuts rates in a non-recessionary environment, normally the US markets rally for the next 12 months. So we are looking at it positively. It's not a rescue package for a recessionary economy. Rather, it's in the midst of quite solid growth that the Fed has got room to cut. So it's a very welcome move, and it will help risk assets immensely globally.
Such nicely and in brief explained, Ajay. I completely second the thought, and I feel after so many weekends, this will be one such weekend where the market participants will not be worrying as to what will happen during the weekend and will there be a tariff jitter or some announcement while we open the market next. But then we need to also understand what should be the strategy for the coming sessions. And Rajesh, looking at how the markets performed, what will be the strategy? What are the levels you're eyeing, and what are the trading ideas for the coming sessions?
So Mansi, if you look at the technical structure for Nifty now, Nifty managed to give breakout of falling trend line on daily chart and comfortably holding about to all its near-term, short-term moving averages. Looking at the derivative data, the put-based concentration is moved higher, and now major put writing activity has been witnessed at 25,000 strikes. So it clearly shows that, base is shifting higher. On the call front, the call writers have covered their position from 25,000, 25,100 strike, and they have moved a little far towards 25, 200, 500 strike. So it shows that, base is shifting higher and call writers are now shifting positions to higher side. So upward trajectory is now clearly visible towards 25,200 to 25,300 in the continuation of this up move. So we believe that, till market is holding about 25,000 level, there is a high possibility that, in the coming week, we may see a level of 25,200 to 25,300 in the near term perspective. So, and if we analyze on the broader market also, most of the sectors have witnessed buying action. And if we look at the derivative data also, so most of the sector have attracted the long built up setup for week on week basis. So it's a, positive outlook for the coming week for most of the sector. Again, on the bank nifty, it has managed to cross 54,500 major call concentration area. So here also there is a breakout of that wall, and Bank Nifty is now able to surpass 20-day moving average. So for Bank Nifty also, we believe that, till Bank Nifty is able to sustain above 54,500, there is a high possibility that, we may attempt to cross 55,000 and 55,200. This could be the possible level where we can see the momentum to continue for Bank Nifty also.
All right, so near term 25,200, 25,300. Rajesh, one more question. I also want to understand the weakness that we saw in last few sessions of the week, persisted in FMCG, PSU banks, media and reality, which dragged slightly on sentiment, highlighting, a selective pressure despite the overall constructive market undertone. How are you looking at the trajectory for the coming week now?
So I think FMCG, we have witnessed some bit of profit taking. Even in the new age stocks, there was some profit taking at higher level, but the short to medium term structure is still on the bullish side. Though there was some profit taking, but we believe that, FMCG basket may attract again buying interest as overall structure for stocks are on the bullish side. So we hold our bullish view on Britannia, Dabur. These stocks are looking promising, and the way weekly and daily charts are shaped up, we believe that, Britannia may extend its gain. So minor dip should be used as a buying opportunity in this sector. So FMCG, we are bullish again in the new age stocks also. Eternal is also looking attractive. So I think if you get any minor decline in these sector, can be looked at on the buying side, as the broader market is in the bullish trajectory, and still most of the stocks from these baskets are also holding the strength on the near term chart. So again, any dip should be used as a buying opportunity.
Consumption in particular, and also while we talk about consumption, also consider the automobile plays, the FMCG in particular, and the travel to tourism, leisure for that matter, because from here there'll be a lot of demand for all of these spaces. Ajay, the IT sector did register biggest weekly gaining streak since May 2025 during the week. Now the global IT companies are doing really well, and at the same time for the domestic IT plays also, after downside action, we do witness a comeback. Do you have confidence in the IT sector?
Yeah, definitely. A very underappreciated, under-owned, under-invested sector. It has been out of favor. Overall, where are we in the entire artificial intelligence rollout game? The cloud service providers, the data center erectors, the power companies, and the semiconductor chip makers and the suppliers into the semiconductor chip makers. These are the sectors which are benefited so far. So it's been the infrastructure creators of AI which has benefited more. We have seen the AI software providers getting huge valuations. But the third part of it, the end-use companies have not really started to benefit right now. And that's where Indian IT will play a role with end-use rollouts of AI for various companies. So you will need a service provider in that format which gets this AI benefits to companies. So we are entering that phase. It will take 6 months for clarity to emerge, but markets being forward discounting mechanisms have started looking at it. That yes, now the AI guideposts have been put in place. The basic AI software is there. Now you have to customize it to the companies, into end users to create more revenue, to better productivity and impact the bottom line. So that phase is starting off. It can be as big as the internet. It can be as big as the Y2K opportunity. That has not come to fruition so far. So that has been a disappointment over the last 1 year. We were expecting it to hit earlier. But now we are quite confident that it's coming. We are at the incipient zone for it, and IT should do well from here on.
All right, so we can see an underlying tone which is of turnaround momentum. But then let's take a quick break. Post that, let's also understand surprises or shocks for next week that the market might have to go through from our experts after this break.
To you, Infosys, the company did clear its biggest ever share buyback with 18,000 crore rupees via the tender route at a 19% premium. Now, the stock was also doing positive in trade, and we also took a fundamental idea on the sector from Ajay. What's your view on the sector and Infosys in particular?
So I think based on news flow and based on this announcement, there was some, positive moment is already priced in this in Infosys. Even if you look at the large cap space, most of the stocks are still in consolidation zone. But we have seen, sharp up move in most of the mid cap IT stocks. So large caps are still struggling to cross their near-term resistance area, but some of the mid cap IT stocks have managed to give breakout. So I think if anybody wants to play out in IT space, mid cap space would deliver good amount of return from here onward as near term structures are improving for mid cap IT stocks. But for large cap IT, especially if I discuss Infosys, the immediate hurdle is placed at around 1550. So if stocks crosses 1550 level, then some short covering action we could see in this counter, and then a possible up move towards 1580, 1600 we may see in the near term perspective. Though stock managed to cross its 20-day, 50-day moving average, so some positive, interest, some positivity would be there in this counter. On the downside, one needs to keep stop loss towards 1490 to hold the position in Infosys for some more pullback action.
All right. Ajay, let's also decode the trajectory in defense sector, with all the deals coming up towards our benefit. How are we looking at a long-term play in this particular sector? Any key takers?
The long term, definitely, it's a buy. The segment, the valuation becomes an issue from time to time. We see some amount of give back that happens in the sector, and then as the new orders come in, we see that going up. Today, we saw that in the markets with the top line stocks going up as much as 8% on the back of new orders or new announcements. So it's a multi-decade story just being formed. We have the technical expertise, we have the ability to make low-cost weaponry, and we have a domestic market itself, the import substitution market first to address, and then the export market. The Chinese story is very clear from 2000 to now, how they built a huge defense capability. I think that's coming for India as well. And today, for example, one jet engine got delivered and we saw a plane maker going up. So that's the kind of movement that we are seeing. Valuations remain an issue, and that leads to this sector seeing 2 months of gains and then 2-3 weeks of sell-off, and then again gains start again. So you have to hold it. I would say hold for the long term and let the valuations get justified, because the runway is there. Runway for defense is very clear.
Absolute conviction, and the runway, a positive one for the defense sector, is what you can see. But at the same time, Rajesh, the metal sector was shining in trade in the last trading session and even during the entire week. And we all so have a lot of positive news flows for the sector. And not to forget, the silver was shining in trade as well. When we talk about silver, not just a precious metal, but an industrial metal also. So taking that also into consideration and the metal sector, any particular scripts which you are eyeing?
Yeah, so very strong buying action throughout the week for most of the metal stocks. So the fresh breakout is visible in Hindustan Zinc. The way stock managed to give breakout of consolidation range, I think Hindustan Zinc may extend its gain. We believe that the way stock is now trading above 450 zone, if it continues to trade above 450, possible up move towards 475, 480, we may see in the near term perspective. Again, other stock like National Aluminum is also showing very strong buying action in last couple of days. And looking at overall structure, we believe that till stock is holding about 210, possible rally may extend towards 225, even 230 kind of zone for National Aluminum also. Again, rest other metal stocks are also attracting buying interest. So I think this metal basket can be looked at for trading perspective also for near term trend. And we believe that some more upside we could see in other metal stocks like Tata Steel, JSW Steel. All the stocks are showing good traction, and long built up is visible in the derivative data also. So I think one can focus on this sector also for trading point of view.
Right. And talking about your stock specific recommendation, what will be the shares you will be recommending for market participants in the week next?
So first stock is Samvardhana Motherson, very strong breakout on the weekly chart, and the way stock has attracted the long built up. We believe that here we could see further more traction on the buying side. 111 we are projecting target. On the downside, 101 should be keep as a stop loss. Other stock is Bajaj Finserv. Stock managed to give breakout of its multiple supply zone on the weekly chart. Stock is comfortably holding about to all its near-term, short-term moving averages. This is second consecutive week where stock is attracting buying interest. So we believe that Bajaj Finserv may attract further more buying action. 2150 we are projecting target for near-term perspective. On the downside, 2055 needs to keep as a stop loss.
Absolutely. Rajesh and Ajay, thank you so much for giving your time to ET Now and helping us understand the market and strategize the same for the coming week. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day and a great weekend to both of you.
Thank you.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition. But there's a lots lined up on the other side. So you stay tuned with ET Now.